Come on. We were made for each other. Nope. Okay, people, today let's take a quick look at the Jada Toys Cheetos Chester Cheetah. Right off the bat, if you watch the weekly, you know I'm trying to adapt to my new space here. I've tried to make it look as close as possible to where I was shooting before, but you can tell, right? I mean, there's some walls showing right here. There's some extra lights going on. There's less lights on this side. And it may sound a bit odd. I'm still working on things. So I may be jumping the gun. I should probably be working on this more, but I couldn't help myself. When I got this in the mail from Jada Toys, I thought, well, I'm gonna have to crack that open as soon as possible. It's a food mascot. I can't help myself. Looking at the package, you could not get more Cheetos-y than this. You got the oranges, you have the logos, you have the Cheetos, you have the Chesters. Warning, choking hazard, small parts. What may look like food in here, it's not food. On the side, another promo shot, action figure. On the back, I expected more pretty promo pics, but no, they just went with full-on advertising. Cheetos, Chester, it's not easy being cheesy. On the side, action figure facts, which is freaking brilliant. On the top, there's Cheetos. On the bottom, not a lot going on, legalese barcode, but there is an opening flap that's magnetically sealed. I made that sound like it's really hard to get into. Like, you're gonna have to call in NASA and a safe cracker. But no, it just kind of opens with the magic of magnets. Gotta admit, that is a kick-ass picture of Chester. And then there's the window, everything that comes in the package. This is exactly what we saw with the cereal monsters. Cheeto motif in the background. And look at this crazy thing. If you had told me several years ago that I would someday be holding a super articulated Chester Cheetah, I would have told you, hell no, you're crazy. Now get out of my house. Why are you here? Oh, talking action figures? Come on in. We can talk for a little bit, but don't be getting all insane on me. This just captures the look and the attitude of the character perfectly. And initially you think, oh, okay, there's not a lot going on here. It's a cartoon character. There's the shape. There's some orange. There's some black. There's some white. Done. But no, there is more to it. Well, don't get me wrong. There is, the white, the orange, the black spots and everything. But there's also some gradients. You see that turning yellowish right here? It kind of fades, but not harshly. At first I thought it was just the sheen of the plastic, but it's not. It's actually highlighted in places. Going down the back of the arm and then the front of the arm, and it's most noticeable up here on top of the snout. Oh yeah, and back here on the top of the head. You have this deeper orange and it just kind of fades into a yellowish orange. Then that lighter color is on the outside right here. That gives you the appearance of shininess, but it's not. It's almost like fur catching sunlight. It is weird, but in a great way. It's just a nice matte finish until you get to the spots, and then there's a gloss to those, and it is a fantastic contrast. It's almost like an illusion, like they're holes that somehow it makes you think that it's deeper than it is. And I've been looking it up and down to try to find a rough spot, the actual spots themselves, the black paint, and everything is just so super clean. Well, okay, right here on the left hip, there is a smudge. The black has scratched off a little bit. But even the lines in the teeth are super sharp. It separates each one. It makes them look individual. Oh, and I just noticed the texture on the nose. That makes it stand out from the rest because everything's cartoony, everything's smooth, but then there's a bit of realism right there. The sunglasses, the rims are matte black, the lenses are glossy, making them look like glass in there. Then of course there is the bright white. They're on the belly, around the mouth, here on the tufts of hair on the side, on the palms of the hands, and then the sneakers. Pretty basic cartoon sculpt here. You have the big toes sticking up, you have the wide tops, the orange logo type things on the sides, and then the orange laces. And yes, there's Cheeto dust on every finger on the right hand, but nothing on the left. So he is definitely right-handed. Oh, and I just noticed that there is a paw sculpt inside the glove. There's the circle in the middle and then each finger. Then there's the whiskers. I was scared of these out of the package, but once I started messing with them, I realized, oh, those are flexible. I'm not going to break those. As far as the sculpt goes, I can't say much more than it's Chester, man. That's the shape of his head. He's just a cool, cheesy guy. Otherwise, the arms are tube-like to large hands. The legs are tube-like to large feet. The torso kind of bowling pins down around the hips. The tail has a whip to it. Oh, and I guess I haven't shown the back of the head. There's some cartoon spikes of hair. Just along with a little hint of a beard. Hey, I can appreciate that. I respect that. Going over articulation, there is a dumbbell joint at the top of the neck going up into the head, and then a ball joint going down into the body. So you can, oh my God, look at that. There's also this. So much tilt. Looking for somebody being cheesy. Basically, pin going out to the arm rotates all the way around, and then the hinge goes, all the way. Hinge and swivel at the elbow, and because of the angle where it's mounted, you can bring the elbow all the way up, or well, most of the way up. Then there's rotation in and out. That pin is small, and there is some flex to it. So I'm not getting crazy with it, but I'm also not too worried about it because I've already kind of put it through its paces. Swivel at the wrist with a hinge in and out. Ball joint at the waist gets all kinds of hula hoop. Pin coming out to the hip, comes forward, goes back, goes out. Better than a lot of Spider-Mans. Cut at the thigh for rotation. Hinge and swivel at the knee, again, because of the way it's cut, it does come up past 90. Then it rotates. There is a swivel where the leg goes into the shoe. Hinge at the ankle goes way back, but because of the sculpt, it only goes forward about that much. Front facing pin for rocker. Oh, I forgot about the tail. There's a pin coming out to it so you can rotate it all the way around, and then there's a hinge to bring it down or bring it up. Again, like the elbow, super small pin. You've probably seen it kind of falling back and forth. It's a lot of weight away from the joint itself. So, well, it's okay. I can make it go around, but it also stays in position when I put it here. The best thing about big feet, super easy to pose. A lot of stability. You can throw them in pretty much any pose, and boom, he's gonna stand up. While I was doing that though, I realized, oh, he's got paws on the bottom of his sneakers too. For accessories out of the package, he comes with two kind of gesturing hands. Then there's an alternate set of gripping hands, and again, the left hand is clean. The right hand has Cheeto dust on the fingertips. I haven't tried this yet, but it should just pop out, and then you pop the other set in. Yeah, not a problem. And the grip hands are to hold his other accessories. He comes with a scale bag of Cheetos. Most of the details you would expect on a bag of Cheetos, but it kind of freaks me out because the look of it is, you know, a bag of Cheetos. You expect like a squash to it. But this is a solid hunk of plastic, which is good because it pushes the fingers out a bit in order to grip the bag tight in the grip hand. Then there is the Cheeto, which is shaped like a Cheeto. It's got the colors of a Cheeto, but you can still tell that it's not a real Cheeto. I don't know if that was a stipulation of making this in action figure form, that, hey, you can't make it look like an actual Cheeto, a real life Cheeto, because people will want to eat it. So what this comes off as is a Cheeto club for Chester to use in battle against other action figure shelves. And then lastly, like I pointed out, the head that's on the figure in the package has this big cheesy grin. He's showing teeth here on the sides and on the front. But then there's this alternate head that's playing it more cool. No teeth showing, more serious. I forgot to point out a minute ago that the sunglasses do look to be separate pieces, but they are glued down hard. I mean, there's not even any flex to them. I think there is an eye sculpt behind that. That'd be interesting to see. Oh, wait. Okay, it's glued in the middle. I'm afraid to lift it up too high, but yeah, there's a sculpt back there. Let's see how, oh, easy peasy. That ball joint is tight, but easy to swap out. There's not a huge difference between them except for the teeth thing. Now I have to decide which way I'm going to display it. Chester stands at pretty much 5.5 inches tall and looks fantastic with Jada's other food mascots, the General Mills cereal monsters. This just makes me happy as all hell. I never imagined I would have these on a shelf. But then there's also the recent Jada Toys Street Fighter figures and the Jada Toys Universal Monsters. Here's my usual comparison with the Hasbro Marvel Legends Vulcan and the Hasbro Star Wars Black Series newer Stormtrooper. Maybe Chester can be a specialist in G.I. Joe? Or he can ride along with my Fortnite crew. Chips and burgers go great together. And he may get along great with Gus and Pete. Just don't get any orange on my nice white uniform. So at the end of the day, can you tell I love this thing? What can I say? Jada Toys is killing it. I showed comparisons a minute ago, but I love their Universal Monsters. I love their Street Fighters, even without any kind of big attachment to the games themselves. I adore their cereal monsters. And now I am building a wish list of food mascots that I need to go along with Chester here. Like I said at the first, never expected to have a figure this good of Chester Cheetah. I mean, who'da thunk? It goes without saying that at this point, Jada Toys has built up a lot of trust when it comes to future action figures, because their past offerings have been so good. I will take whatever they want to make when it comes to all of this, what they're making. But I'm also pretty happy with what I've got. If they don't make any more, then I will be sad, but I'll also be super, super happy that I have this and the monsters and the other monsters. I'm just rambling at this point. Chester Cheetah, thank you, Jada Toys, for sending me out an early review sample.